gods that men build. See a sphinx from the ink my pen spilled. Auric fills, links with the Torah and 4 of the seals. Then 3 more revealed. That makes 7. The heavens broke open with omens. Peasants begging the savages. Chariots, horses and wheels. Over corpses left in the hills. Is in Lil Shaitan, the serpent administrator to Israel. Was Enkidu the one with the fruit that spoke in Hebrew? Or was he Jesus too? Treason to God was 2. Was the oldest teacher Sophia? Ishtar, Easter, reminisce, the feminine. Stars over Giza, the power of the ether. Tiamat, the rulers with the G on top. The woman has a G-spot, the skeleton gear locks. Who spoke to Moses as the burning bush? Mistaken as a pharaoh, so that confirmed his looks. The beginning of these pharaohs, a lot concerning Cush. Who's this person in the book? His brothers was Mizraim, Canaan, and Put. Mizraim became the land of black soot, or bitterman. Became Kemet throughout millenniums. Gideons to the Bosnians, tribe Bobs and Indians. From the Americans, our true inheritance. Latifah the seraphims. Concerning Canaan, Napthali explaining. Just like the X-File in training. A death trial and arraignment. When they buried the Nazarene, after 3 days he rose and exposed himself to Mary Magdalene.
All right. Most High bless to everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your girl Napthali, and I got my brother with me, JJ 7000, Lieutenant General. What's going on? I don't know if he's frozen or not, but okay, we'll give him a second. But what's going on, everybody? Most High bless. It's your girl Napthali. Hey, Walter Blue Ezekiel. Shalom to you. Thanks for tuning in, and to those of you that are out there watching, and those of you that will be out there watching later on. Thanks so much for your support. If you can, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right, guys. So this was a quick preemptive live that we're doing right now. My brother and I are going to be talking about a few things that we have noticed in the community. Now, one thing I want to make sure I do is I want to shout out to Killer Priest, shout out to Tehuti, as well as shout out to AD. Thank you guys so much for inviting me onto your platform. I appreciate you guys supporting the sister. One thing I do notice is that in this walk that I'm walking in, I've noticed that sometimes it's kind of hard, for a sister to get a conversation, or to be invited onto people's shows that are of the Hebrew identification, I guess. They don't really deal with women. But one thing I do know is that the Kemetic guys, they definitely will give a sister a chance. Definitely, very nice, very respectable. But as always, of course, I do have disagreements within the doctrines. And it's one thing that I have noticed that I find rather interesting. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Hey, JJ, you ready? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. How you doing, Queen?
All
Peace
right.
to you and your family.
All right. You want to say anything? All right.
Yeah. Are you gonna get into your thing first, and then I'm gonna go?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you want to say
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is JJ 7000, the most serious debater on this planet. Sit your ass down, cause I know you can't stand. That's right. Hey, peace and blessings, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to get this information off the last couple of weeks, so I'm grateful that Mr. and Mrs. I ain't gonna say, I can't call them Mr. Napthali. But yeah, the family.
You're breaking up.
Being a serpent in the garden, it has to stop. We got brothers.
You're really breaking up. I don't know if that's just on my end, or let me do a sound check. 1 second.
They would say that they got a whole different teaching, so I don't even know where they're getting this from. I don't want to keep rambling, but peace to my wife, my queen, my forever Jenny Hayes. Peace to the Lions Den, JJ7K TV, the ones watching over there. And yeah, we about to get it in. Thank you.
All right, that sounds great. So before JJ he and I was supposed to do a video together on the serpent in the garden. So he's going to do that in just a second. But before he starts that, I want to do a quick recap of I went on Killer Priest podcast craft yesterday, last night, and I had a conversation with Tehuti. And one thing that I found very interesting having these conversations with people who don't people who do believe in the Bible, as well as people who don't or say they believe in the Bible. The one thing that I start to notice is the way that they try to get people out of the Bible is by saying that the Bible is the so-called white man's book. And I find that very funny because, and I used this thumbnail. I thought it was pretty, interesting because they always talk about how the Bible is the so-called white man's book. They always say that they colonized us. They took away our true religion. They took away our true beliefs, our language, and they gave us the Bible when the Bible is actually our history. What they gave us instead was evolution. Right here, I have the brother Tehuti. I have him in Trump passing out the book of Charles Darwin. And a lot of people don't know that actually Charles Darwin's book is called The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selections, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. So I added evolution there, but this is the origin of species by means of natural selection for the preservation of favored races. So this book is actually for the favored races. And who are the favored races? That does not include us so-called Black people. This book is for white supremacy, i.e. actually white males. So one thing I think is very funny, or I find very interesting, that is, people, they let go of the Bible and they think they're doing something by letting go of the Bible. They say, oh, well, that's the so-called white man's book, but you actually picked up one of the most racist books from one of the most racist people on earth, which is Charles Darwin. And he's talking about not our people, but another group of people and how to preserve themselves. This is not, that's the hidden knowledge, or the occultic, or the esoteric, or however you want to explain it. But that's the hidden information behind it. And one thing that I notice is the people who come off as if they're the most Afrocentric, the most pro-Black, the most whatever you name it, they are the ones that really push you away from the Bible. They always tell you, oh no, this is the colonizer's book. But they want to give you this book instead. They want to give you Darwin's book instead. How is that helping? How is that beneficial? And how is that going to help us as a people thrive by, and this is when I bring in our conversation. So when I had my conversation with Tehuti last night, he is an Egyptologist. So his background is in Egyptology. And I like to ask people, hey, what's your origin story? Just to get a little background on you, get a little, get a little understanding of what you believe in. And one thing I've noticed is when I do that, people don't really want you to know. They're kind of standoffish. It's kind of hard. It's like pulling teeth. And I'm like, hey, I really thought that he believed in the gods. And the reason why I do that is not just a tactic, but it's also, I don't want to label somebody under something that's not them. People don't like that. I don't like that either. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you know. If you ask me, do you believe in literal 6 days? Yes, I do. Do you believe in Genesis 1? Yes, I do. Do you believe that it's literal? Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I let you know up front, so there is no form of, no type of, misunderstandings, So I ask people things too, because I don't want to label you or put you under something that's not yours. So I really believe that he believed in these gods, and it turns out that the brother really don't believe in these gods. What he believes in is evolution. And one thing that I noticed that he said, if you don't believe in Egypt, if you don't believe in this, leave it alone. Well, you don't believe in it, because if you don't stand for them and their beliefs fully, there's a lot of people that's lukewarm. But one thing that they do believe in fully is Darwinism. Darwinism is a man-made religion. It's not true. It's not scientifically backed. A lot of creationists. We have a lot of professors with doctorate degrees going out there, Yale graduates, professors at Yale, actually coming up and telling us that this stuff is not scientifically backed. It does not need to be taught alongside of science. It needs to be taught as a philosophy, or taught like how you would teach the Bible as a form of theology. It should not be taught as if it's scientific, because this is not scientifically based. It requires you to believe in it. Is it okay to believe in evolution? You can believe in whatever you want to. But the thing is don't think that when you believe in evolution, that is some form of science, that you're getting out of belief, that you're getting out of dogma, that you're getting out of man-made religion, when it's exactly that. And then when they come back to you and they tell you, hey, this is the truth here. Get out of the Bible because some white man gave it to you. Darwin was only for the favorite races. And who are those favorite races? The so-called white, the so-called Caucasians. But like I was saying though, speaking with these people, he talked to me about us being animals. We're not animals. Okay, I explained to him as many times as I could, tried to break it down as best as I could, to explain that the animals were created separately from mankind. There is mankind and there is the animal, the beast of the field, and they are to bring forth after their kind. Now, as a joke, I like to have fun. He was pretty much implying that something that the Babylonian Talmud taught, again, these are outside people got to go outside the Bible to, or add to the Bible to put it down. You can't use the Bible, use the book for what it says. Why do you have to add, insinuate, or lean to your own understanding when you're teaching on the Bible? A lot of people like to do that, either add, take away, or lean to their own understanding and insinuate. So when it said that he had to find Adam a helpmate, he implied like he was looking at the animals, like Christ was looking at the animals as a mate for Adam. And that actually comes from the Babylonian Talmud that actually teaches this, that Adam was out there having relations with animals. Now, we know that in the book of Leviticus, that is actually an abomination. That's actually, we see that. We don't have to lean to our own understanding, because the Bible says what it says. You don't have to, even though the Bible speaks in parables and it speaks in allegories, but it does that to help you understand. He's trying to make it easier for us to understand, not to make our own. And that's why you read the book. We know, we actually are living in the future. We actually got to see the trials and tribulations of our ancestors, what they did wrong, why they did wrong, and what not to do. But instead, we keep on repeating the same things. We see here that, not to follow the ways of the Babylonians. But he pulls out the Babylonian Talmud as a source to try to discredit the Bible and try to insinuate that Adam was mixing with the animals. But like I said, it's very interesting. I just want people to understand that these so-called leaders are these so-called teachers. Matter of fact, JJ, you had an encounter with a woman. What's her name? You were supposed to have her on the show today. And she actually was, I had her on my show, Genesis. And what I thought was pretty interesting is that she's a person that doesn't teach on the Bible. She wants to talk about Ifa and preach all this stuff about being, again, pro-Black and African spirituality, but she got a whole white man as her teacher. Now, hold on a second. There is tons of Africans out here, okay? You mean to tell me you couldn't find one? You couldn't find one out here to to teach on something that's theirs. You see what I'm saying? This is supposed to be centered in Africa. This is supposed to be Nigerians or Yoruba. You mean tell me you couldn't find out one, but you find a so-called white man? That's how you know that they didn't come with no doggone Bible. Because look at what they coming to you right now. And you're willing to bend the knee, you're willing to submit, you're willing to listen when they teach you this. But when they so-called, which they are the converters of hold on, let's get it straight. They're not the ones that brought up the Bible, they converted to the Bible. Okay, let's get that straight. The Romans converted over from their Babylonian, aka pagan ways, and they began to be in the Bible. They didn't bring us something that we already had. They brought us this so-called knowledge of evolution, as well as the worship of that the Most High said divination, not to do that, worshiping of ancestors, all this stuff that this so-called African spirituality, which is witchcraft. All of this stuff they told it it's we are warned not to do that. Now, but they want to tell you, well, that's the so-called white man's book. But you got a white man teaching you African spirituality, but you couldn't find an African? It doesn't make any sense to me. You said you disagree with me. That's cool. I don't understand why you disagree with me. That's interesting that you would. They like to get up here and tell. I'm just saying. I'm just letting everybody know. I find it very interesting. Divination is found in the Bible. Yes, it is, but it's also found to not do it. It's a lot of things that we used to do back in the day that was okay to do, but it's no longer okay to do because the thing is we don't have any control over it. You're going to allow people to have control over you that don't always mean you well. That's the problem. That's the problem, is that people can take this take certain things and manipulate and utilize it to their advantage to control people. So in order for you to not be controlled or for things to, go wrong, the most I say is leave it alone. It's the only thing, that's the only best thing that you can do and you can tell a child of yours to leave something alone. Like, hey, if that's not working out, leave that alone. Okay, well, anyway, so meanwhile, I just wanted to speak on that. I'm gonna go ahead and let JJ have the floor, and then later on, when Elder Quinai come on, then we'll get back to the debate with me and Tehuti. But in the meantime, go ahead, JJ, you got the floor.
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna speak on Monica real quick. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative, but I don't understand why she's having, somebody from a European background, try to teach her about EFI.
I
Her
can't
mother
really
had
hear
just passed
you.
away. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get in a better spot. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the internet? Hold on for 1 second. All right, can you hear me better? I might take these headphones off. These headphones off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was like kind of shocked. I was like, I mean, her and I was supposed to do a show today, and she was running late, so I told her, "I go ahead and continue with your master teacher, and we can do the show later, within an hour." But yeah, she stood me up, but it's all good. But I just
You're going out again.
he's not. Oh, he's not connected to the Yoruba. None. I'm on to teach her about EFI, divination, things of that nature. But I'm not really on here for her. I seen you at Tehuti yesterday. It was kind of funny because this whole time that I was dealing with Tehuti, I always thought he thought what the Book of the Dead say, and the ancient Kemetics, they really believed that these deities were real. They had retainer sacrifices, getting mummified and get prepared to be in an afterlife. So I was shocked last night when Tehuti said that that they were he believed that the gods are human. So that took me back, because when you go into these different prayers in the Book of the Dead, you're gonna read the verbiage they're praying to Osiris, they're praying to Thoth and all these Asar, whatever deity that's in the book. So I'm probably gonna have to have that conversation with them for another time and another day. And you were getting them irritated. I seen a little bit of that. I was kind of, doing going back and forth to two different shows. I didn't see everything, but I couldn't believe the people were saying that you was getting them, getting them off the square, because usually Tahuti's very, very poised, So
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. It's just a conversation, and then guys, and somebody left a comment. I want to make sure I respond to this. They said Black people did not authorize the biblical canon you speak of. They wrote scrolls and documented spiritual beliefs. The Bible, irregardless of biblical canons, the thing is that we do have the scrolls, and we know that goes back to our history. So it has nothing to do with evolution. But yes, I was surprised too. I can't wait to like I said, we're supposed to be having a debate, and if that does come to fruition, yes, I definitely am looking forward to it. We haven't come up with the title, we haven't come with the time, nor the place, but we are in the works of it. And if he wants to have that conversation, I'm down, and we can do it. And if somebody says we don't have no you ain't got no D scrolls, LOL. You know what? You don't have any scrolls. You don't have any scrolls. Matter of fact, only thing you have is low self-esteem. That's what you got. If you want to believe that we don't have any scrolls, then that's fine. But guess what? Everybody else out there wants to hear the truth. And guess what? We do have scrolls. So you can take your low self-esteem and self-hate on somewhere. And no, I would not.
Who was that? Who was that running their mouth in the audience? I can't really see. Who is this guy?
This guy here.
Oh, let's see. He has a wrench. I wonder if he's over my channel. What's his name? I'm on my phone. Yeah, what's his name right there? Who is that?
Brother Kansu.
Oh, that's that. That's one of my lions. Then, Napthali, you got all my ex-lions den, and my lions den's got going off. But there is biblical scrolls, Kansu. I mean, if you want to hit the panel, come on up. But let me ask you this, Kansu, real quick. What do you think about Sister Monica getting her new master teacher over there is a European? Go ahead and type that in the channel. And while you're doing that, I want to touch on this Jesus is a serpent in the garden.
Do you want me to jump in now, or you want to just teach?
As a matter of fact, can we just get to let's just start the video, because my time is kind of limited, and then if we have time, it's about 45 minutes, and then if I have time,
I just want to make sure you didn't want me to jump in. Like you said, let's show the video. Let's go ahead and show it.
Yeah. Because let me get everybody amped up with what's going on here. Sister Napar and I had a debate. I don't know, it was about 5 years ago, about her. She's saying that Jesus Christ is a serpent in the garden. Now, the serpent can represent wisdom, restoration, regeneration, but then in some other cultures, it also represents evil. And the way that the Bible is using the serpent, they're not using it as somebody bringing knowledge to Adam and Eve. What she's doing is, and I'm not talking down on her, but what she's doing is she's mixing and matching Gnostic teachings and some of her own things and leaning on her own understanding. Because if you go through Genesis, I can take you through Genesis all the way through Revelations, right? And I can show you the serpent, and I can show you who the Redeemer is. And Jesus is not the serpent. I mean, how can he be the serpent, make mankind fall, and then they're gonna bring him back to save mankind? It makes no sense. So I mean, just for because of time's sake, if you can go ahead and start the video, it's because Sonetta and I I guess he come to Nepal's defense. He came to me, said he's gonna debate me, and he never showed up. But so I went on and did a little presentation on the why the serpent wouldn't be Jesus Christ. So if we can get into that, and then I have an article showing you the serpent through all different cultures. But we might not have time for that. But I might can do that another day. But yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes, y'all, because this madness got to stop. And matter of fact, wasn't you supposed to debate on something like that, Napthali?
Yeah, ways back we were supposed to have a debate on a serpent in the garden. So
So what's your viewpoint on that? Go ahead, let the people know.
oh well, I actually did a you need your wrench. I'm sorry, let me go ahead and get it back to you. Give it. I did a video. I did a response actually to what's his name? I did a video to Brother
Brother
Sanchez.
Sinclair. He's another one.
So
Yeah,
I
he's
did an
another
actual
one.
response to him. So yeah, you got to check out that video I did. I actually broke
Okay.
all that down. I actually connected it to all the way back to Babylonianism. But
Yeah.
let's see. Did you send that? Was that the video you sent me in
Yes.
message?
Yeah. No, that's the article, but in the private chat, the video is there. If you
Private
see
chat?
it. Yeah, the
Okay.
video should be in the
One
private
second,
chat.
let me look for it. Keep talking. I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah. I mean, it just don't make any sense to me, and I don't know. It's catching on for a few people. A few people are actually believing this, and they're basically taking away from what the whole story of the Bible is. You know, from the Garden of Eden all the way to Revelation, when Christ is supposed to come back and redeem man. But some people don't think that Christ is in the Old Testament. But neither here nor there. I know one thing for sure: that wasn't that serpent in Genesis wasn't Jesus Christ. So let's get into it. Everybody hit that like, share, and subscribe. Uh, Shani, shout out,
All right,
shout out
I'm
to
about
him.
to share it. I'm about to share it now.
All right, let's get into it. Yeah, skip all that part. Yeah, skip all the music. Yeah, skip the music.
The rinse and the potion. Niggas know shooter who keep me some motion. Put a play on a play on a play. Put a bay on a bay on a bay. Screaming free out my bodies upstate. Screaming free out my niggas downtown too. I be high so making the shit. She got a nigga but don't even post it. I pull up with the rinse and the potion. Niggas know shooter who keep me some motion. Put a play on a play on a play. Put a bay. Sometimes I wonder.
I'm sorry, I should have gave you a time stamp. Yeah, there we go.
Sometimes I wonder. Y'all already know what time it is, man. We waiting on Uncle JJ. Y'all know it's going down. Get your get everything you need to succeed. A little bit of this. A little bit of this. Yeah, man. Get your water. Get your water. Get your blunt. Uncle JJ never seems to turn us down when it comes to entertainment. Uncle JJ is gonna keep us entertained. So make sure you know what I'm saying. Like, share, and subscribe. It's about to go down. Let me see. I be that last live stream we did, gang.
that last live stream we did, it was, I want to say like 7 hours or something like that. But we got to keep in mind,
You can fast forward a little bit
when we on
till you
these
see
live
me pop
streams,
up.
we got to articulate ourselves in a way that's
There you go. Hopefully,
yeah, you good. I'm saying if it kick you out one more time, copy the link and put it in your phone web browser.
okay. Do
But
I have to copy the link in the chat? Huh?
Say it again.
Just a little bit more.
Say
Do
it
I
again.
have to have a wrench? Do I have a wrench in your chat to copy the link? And then
Nah, I sent you the link. Nah, I sent you the link through the chat and through the messenger. Just copy that and put it in your web browser. You don't need a wrench. We talking about the link in the website.
Okay.
But you got the floor, Uncle JJ. Let's get popping.
Yeah, man. Peace and blessings, man. Welcome to the Powerful Bills. You know, my name is JJ 7000, aka Medinka Mali, the most feared debater on this planet. Sit your ass down. Cause I know you can't stand it. You know, my ops out here running down these goddamn YouTube streets, running a pork chop eating. So one day the guy called me the other night, man. I guess he tired of me, you know, giving Napthali the real information. So he want to step up. He's stepping up finally. He has put on his goddamn members only coat, his gaiters. Goddamn, he slicked his hair back with a toothpick. Sugar Daddy coming to save the problem. Hey, I like that, Mr. I like that because now you stepping up for it instead of putting her out there. Hey, you need O'Brien holding her up in front of the bush. Now it's time for you to get in front of them bullets, nigga. You hear me? Run around here talking. Look. Run around here talking about Jesus Christ. It's a serpent in the garden. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I used to be, you know, like a real hardcore Hebrew Israelite for like 10 years, man. Then I finally woke up to the light, like, man, these guys, man, I mean, I don't want to be associated with a whole bunch of dudes, you know, women is just bringing out the wrong information. I've been battling on the inside with these guys. Now, you ain't getting no slave, no kingdom, nigga. Where it say that? Huh? Where it say King David gonna come back and be the end time Messiah, Judah Nazareth? Huh? Just like when you're lying, ain't this 12 tribes chart don't match up. See, my foot was always on their neck. And now the Pasha guy and Sarnetta run around talking about Jesus Christ is the serpent in the garden. So Sarnetta has set up to do a debate death match on JJ7K TV, man. I was shocked when he agreed to this. I don't know if he'd been drinking that night or, you know, he's hanging out with Cardi B and she done put something in his drink. But God dang me, hey, you in some trouble. You hear me? You was some goddamn trouble. And I got 20 bullet points that you're gonna have to deal with in this. So let me get a little bit of the meat and potatoes out there so you know what you're dealing with when you get in the ring with a juggernaut like the people's champ. You hear me? You want to say something, Super Wave, before I get into some of my information, man? Shit, go ahead.
Nah, Uncle JJ, you got it going on. Uncle Shaka, I don't know if peace to you, Uncle Shaka. How you doing? I don't know if Uncle JJ wants you on. JJ, that's up to Uncle JJ.
Yeah, as long as you know, yeah. Because we're gonna review the video too for a little bit. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. This open panel. This ain't no debate yet.
Man, hey JJ, I ain't nobody but Shock, man. You know I'm the Black King, Don King. He gonna run, nigga. I wanted to know hear from the horse's mouth. I'm tired of listening to all this tutelage from everybody talking from the back. Now I found that coach out there somewhere, and you ain't bringing other people on. Shit, Wavy did some shit the other day. That shit was 7 goddamn hours, and I really stayed there and watched the whole goddamn thing. I wanted to bring Bequash back on. Bequash gonna get killed. They gonna murder him.
God damn, that signal bad for my Amazon, I said Amazon. Vote, so you got me. That signal is bad for my Android gang. Got to get the Android Restream. We got to turn up for Android gang. Restream. I need y'all to invest into Android software because a lot of people don't have iPhones. So Restream, y'all have to invest in the Android software to keep the discourse going. YouTube guidelines, we love YouTube guidelines. YouTube guidelines, we love YouTube guidelines. So Uncle JJ says that Sanetta has agreed to debate at the Lions Den Death Match. So you're gonna get Sanetta and Uncle Mandinka Molly face to face.
Yeah. I was proud of him, man. I was proud of Sanetta when he called me and said he ready. He said, I'm ready. He said, I'm ready, man. I said, man, you sure? You really want this smoke? I said, my wife. I said, hey, now that's an honorable man. See, now you ain't need no Brown no more. You ain't putting it in front of these goddamn bullets. You hear me? That's selfish of you to do this. But we all know it's your goddamn idea. You the puppet master. I done figured it out. Ladies and gentlemen. I got to get you up here talking. For those who know who just came in, Uncle Sanetta is out here running around talking about Jesus Christ is a serpent in the garden. Now, you don't even have to be a Bible believer or a Bible pusher to even know that this is a dang on lie. Come on, we all have been in the first book of the Bible. Hey, going up in your grandma's house, going to Sunday school, passing you the little peppermint, boy, sit down somewhere. You know that dang what? That Sunday teacher didn't teach nothing about no Jesus Christ swerving around on his belly, deceiving man and woman. Christ is the creator. I'm going to get into some of the meat and potatoes you're going to deal with now. You're in some trouble. Christ is the creator. The serpent is a created being. Ooh, woo. Scripture. Watch this super way. For by him all things were created. They talk about Christ in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones, dominions, rulers, or authorities. All things were created through him and for him. That's Colossians 1:16, Sanetta. I don't know what you even got yourself into. Now look at this. Oh, look, all things were made through him, and without him, nothing was made that was made. So that's in John 1:3. So we're gonna get into the scholarly insight of what we just read, and then I'm gonna show you why it's blasphemy for you to be saying the serpent.
All right, so I gotta let me call Uncle JJ and tell him. Let me call Uncle JJ. Uncle Shaka, you know you the OG over here.
Man, don't be talking to motherfucking Android, nigga. Ain't nobody got no time for them iPhones.
Hey, Uncle JJ, copy the link and put it in your web browser.
I want to hear what they got to say.
Say it again.
And I'm on it.
Tell me the problem. Try it one more time, and if it don't work, I got you. Copy the link and put it in your web browser on your phone. You got the internet. Your internet. Copy the link and the internet, bro.
Who else you got coming? Where everybody at?
Where you watch porn at?
Who said that?
Your internet browser. Where you watch porn, Uncle JJ?
How you know where to find it, nigga?
Come on, Uncle JJ. All right. Got to copy the link, put it in your internet browser where you watch porn at. But yeah, man, it is going down. Uncle JJ, I just text Uncle Sanetta, told him come pop in. You know what I'm saying? And Uncle JJ will. They say they having a debate on Lions Den Death Match. I know Silky D is so hot right now. I just know Silky D is just so hot right now. Silky D like, nigga, you took my deathmatch idea. Hey, Silk, Sanetta versus JJ. Lions Den deathmatch. They already. I think JJ took that. So I'm sorry, Silk. I think JJ took that from you, gang. I think he just took that from you. You know what I'm saying? So you got Sarnetta versus JJ, Lions Den deathmatch. All right, Uncle JJ, it's not gonna kick you out no more.
Yeah. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man. Where was I at, man? See, the problem in the community is that we got a whole bunch of people running around giving out misinformation.
Uncle JJ.
Yeah.
You say God gave us this good plant and some good water, and he gave you these hard-headed ass Israelites.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Tell them. You know, and getting hard-headed Israelites. You know what I'm saying? See Yahweh a little fella, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know. See, El was the top deity back in the earlier days. You see Abraham making trees to El. They named themselves Bethel and Samuel. You ain't seen no Bethel Yahweh. When Christ died, they had him on the cross, y'all. El Shabbat. He calls him El. He ain't no Yahweh. Where Yahweh at, man? So you know. So Yahweh went to the council with the rest of these guys, right? We're gonna get back on this in a second. He went to the council with the rest of these guys, right? The big guy El portioned out stuff. You know, all right, Sheshemites, you get the Moabites, Kakiku, you get the Edomites, you know, and you know, Yahweh, he in pain. He in the back of the what I get to get, Papa? You know, El taught him, you get to get these hard-headed Israelites. That's what you get to get together. And the Judaizers and the past and all of them. You could have got some, but you can't shut up. That's what you get. All right, let's get back to it. All right, let's get back to it. So see, Sarnetta, you're gonna have a problem in this debate. I'm telling you, brother, you're gonna have a problem, bro. You see me in action. I don't even know why you accepted this debate. Cause see, the scholarly insight on Colossians 1 and 6. It says, biblical scholars universally understand this.
Damn.
Hey,
God. Damn.
Restream thing, so it's kind of connection.
Uncle JJ
but
was going
I pop right
in.
back in.
God damn. For all of y'all saying that we don't need to be self-medicating, I'm doing it right now. But what you got for me? These hard-headed Israelites. I got some hard-headed Israelites. What you got for me, God? Yahweh asking his daddy, what you got for me? Got some hard-headed Israelites. All right, so we're waiting on Uncle JJ to come back in. Man, look like the ether is really going at the game.
All right, just put the phone up to the thing. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, hey, that's the soccer on the panel?
Nah, he got kicked off when you got kicked out.
Oh, we both fell out. But that was Tashaka, wasn't it?
Say it again.
Was that brother Tashaka?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was him. All right, bro, peace, family. Chicago's very finest. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Chicago, Bulls, Twins. What else we got? You know, but let's get back to the information, man. We got to get into the scholarly insight, right? So now listen, biblical scholars universally understand that Christ as a pre-existent word, the Son of God, to be an agent of creation. See? So this is the problem, the serpent identified as Satan as is part of the created order, a fallen angel. Is this fundamental difference in being creator versus create? Do you understand what's going on here? The 7,000 people teach. See, it makes their identification impossible. And Leon Mould states in his commentary on John, the Word was the creative agent, and the universe exists because he brought it into being. Now, why would the Creator come in? If he's part of the creation, the Creator, if he's part of being like the Godhead of creation, why would he go into the garden to mislead two things that was created by that force? And for what? That doesn't even make sense. And then come back later, and then he'll come back later, y'all, to redeem mankind. See, so what you're confused about is when Christ is compared to a serpent. When they was in the wilderness, and see, they're being disobedient to Yahweh sent some goddamn snakes down and bit them in the ass. They said, shit, goddamn, man, hey Moses, man, we sorry, man, tell Yahweh to chill. No problem. Just give them a paraphrase. Go talk to them. So what they do? You know, Moses went and had a holler at Yahweh. You know, cause remember, everybody got their portion. Yahweh got the hard-headed Israelites. If you've been following what you're supposed to do, you wouldn't got bitten in the first place. You see? So he said, make what do you call it? Make this image thing, right? The staff, and you know, y'all know when you go to the hospital and you'll see the two snakes rolling around, the thing, it stands for healing. So they made it like with the representation of snakes on it. So then he said, hey, hold it up in there. And whoever look up should be healed. So then later on in the Bible, they use that as a metaphor. You will look up to Christ. You will be healed from your sins. You will be healed from your pain. You see what I'm saying? That's all it meant, Sharnetta. That's it. But you gonna tell me you think that's the same snake that he got on the pole in the garden? The one that was the creator. It was part of his creative force. So mess things up on purpose. So as Leon Moore states in his commentary by John, the Word was a creative agent, and the universe exists because he brought it into being. Now, see, Christ is the incarnate, the serpent of his blasphemy, which is, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we have been seeing his glory as the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. That's in John 1:14. You have to deal with that. You have to deal with that. Since you didn't get brave and tell me you're going to jump in the ring with me. I was shocked. What the hell is this? One of these joke calls, prank calls? Is this for real? So look at this. So in John 1:14, he opened his mouth to utter blasphemies against God, blaspheming his name and his dwelling, and that is those who dwell in heaven. Revelation 13:6, referring to the beast, empowered by the dragon. Now here's the scholarly insight on this. Christ is the perfect revelation of God's character and truth. What the perfect revelation of God's character and truth. What? So you mean to tell me if that's a representation of God's character and truth, so when that girl gets his character to deceive Adam and Eve, I mean, you can get with stuff, bro. You're going to get beat up. I'm going to tell y'all, he ain't going to show up. If y'all should do a poll and do it back and see and put money on it, and you probably should take the side and he ain't going to show up. You hear me? Okay, let's keep going. So the scholarly insight, Christ is the perfect revelation of God's character and truth. The serpent and his agents actively blasphemes and slanders God. That's an F.F. Bruce, emphasized the incarnation of God's ultimate self-disclosure, making Christ and his making Christ one of those beings that distorts or speaks against God. But let's get into something else, man. We're gonna watch that video for a minute, man. But I want to give y'all some more. But I don't want to, give up everything.
I want Uncle JJ. I want you to try to come in one or two more times. The people say they want to see your face.
Okay. Well, let me just read something real quick. Let me get a little bit more, and then all right. Let me read something else. All right. So look at it. I'm going to read this. The serpent of Revelation, the ancient adversary of man. He's the ancient adversary, this serpent. There's nowhere come on, fellow. That adversary, the book of Revelation, Identity of the serpent, first introduced in the Garden of Eden, first introduced in the Garden of Eden, first introduced in the Garden of Eden. It's unequivocally revealed. This is no longer ambiguity. The ancient truth is still unknown as the ultimate adversary in Revelation 12:9. But yeah, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out and then try to and then come back in. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna work way to the booty squirt, all right? Come on, Uncle JJ. All right, gonna get Uncle JJ in the building. People say they want to see his face.
JJ, what did he say? This is getting a little out of control.
Because I had jumped off, but he said something weird.
Okay, I
I'm
mean,
glad I
I
didn't
tried to
hear
hold
that.
on as long as I
face.
could, but I mean, the guy is. This is a little. This is way inappropriate. I mean, I'm trying to hold on, but I'm gonna have to remove this. This can't be this man talking.
How y'all
Yeah, okay.
Y'all think
this isn't
the snake in the garden was Jesus? I asked Dwayne. I might need to call Dwayne. I asked Dwayne.
Hey, Sister Napthali, I'm only responsible for what I say. That that's his platform.
That's fine. I don't have any. I don't know who that. I don't remember who that guy is, but that's okay. But that's how he runs his show. But my show, I don't. I try to keep it PG, and and he's saying I really tried to hang in there, but I just can't. I mean, he's saying I don't know what's liable to come up next.
Well, no, I'm getting ready to speak, so you ain't got to worry about him.
Okay, well, go on. You can take the floor and teach and stuff like that, but we just can't show him no more. He can't be up here.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Let's just go ahead and end it because what I'm about to spill out on my part is very important information. I'm about to go from Genesis all the way to Revelation. I'm going to show you the serpent, and then I'm going to show you the Redeemer in every goddamn chapter. So I'm gonna pop back on. He ain't gonna say nothing else. Maybe you could take. He don't say nothing else crazy. I didn't even hear him say that. I fell off. But I mean, if you just want to let it play and then take it down afterwards, that's cool. But this information that I'm bringing out, it needs to be heard.
So you don't have the information to present yourself, because we are also sharing his video, and he probably, people don't like people sharing their videos and stuff. So.
No, I already got permission from him to share the video on different platforms. But
I don't feel like I said, he's smoking. I can't deal with it, JJ. I'm sorry. I tried. I don't know. The guy really, like you said, that's his platform and he's free to do what he wants to do. I have no problem with that. But
I tell you what, we can if you want to.
I can come over there on your side and I can, sit over there and chill with you. But on this side, I can't. Like I said, I can't do that.
No, we can go ahead and end it because it's kind of like a bad connection.
We can try again next time. I thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. This was fun.
Yep, that's cool. All right, peace and blessings, y'all.
Thanks everybody for watching.
If y'all want to see the full video, yeah, I appreciate it. All right, Queen, I'm up out of here.
All right, most high bless. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. Sorry, I tried to hang in there as long as I could. I don't know the brother, he had some things he had to say, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Most high bless.